In this video we'll talk about the on-page redirect event and about redirecting to another page in general after you submit the grid. So in the previous video we were discussing the after update record and after update records events, and if you wanted to redirect to another page after you submit a grid, you might be tempted to think that the after update record or after update records event would be where you would handle that requirement, but in fact it's not. The on-page redirect is the event that you would use if you want to redirect to another page after you submit the grid. But the on-page redirect is actually only one of two ways in which you can redirect to another page. So let's talk about redirecting to another page after you submit the grid and how you can do that. So let's go ahead now and go back to update properties over here, and you can see here that basically by default the target page is set to self, which means that after you submit the grid, if there are no errors, then the grid just redisplays itself. But you might want to set the target page to be say any other page in your application. So for example, if the user submits the grid and there are no errors, you might want to go to, say, the next page in a sequence of pages in your application. So in order to do that, you would just simply go here and type in the target, and typically this would be another page in your application, but for purposes of demonstration here I'm going to go ahead here and set this to http://www.google.com. So basically, if the user submits the grid and there are no errors, we're going to now redirect to Google. Now the one thing that I should point out is that by default, if you have an updatable grid, this property here, allow individual rows to be saved, is turned on. So you can see here, if I go to working preview, it's going to give me an error now telling me that I've set a redirect target to be something other than self, and if I do that, then I need to turn off the ability to submit individual rows. And the reason is as follows. Let's say that I made changes to data in row 1, 2 and 3, and if I were to just submit the data in row 1 and then redirect to another page, the changes that I had made in rows 2 and 3 would have been lost. So therefore Alpha 5 does not allow you to do a redirect after submitting just an individual row. So when you do that, basically you can see what's going to happen here to this property. It's going to get unchecked as it was over there. So now if I were to go, and let's go ahead here and run this. So if I go here and I type in some data and I submit, now in this case we've previously defined an event that says that beta software is not allowed. So when I go ahead now and press the submit, and notice that the ability to submit individual rows is now turned off, and I can only submit all rows at once. When I press the submit button, we get our error, and if I now go ahead here and correct this error and type in, say, Delta software and submit, basically we redirect to Google as the event was defined. But now let's say that instead of redirecting to Google, we would like to redirect to a different page under different conditions. So in order to basically achieve that, what we need to do is change the redirect target to a hard-coded page or a URL, and change it, as the help here says, to the word event. So let's pause here and pick it up in the next video.